Hello, Ducks fans. Welcome to another episode of the Quack Report. It's been a while, hasn't it, Nate?
It's been a while since we've done a Quack Report epi.
Okay, we might get taken down. Not bad, not bad.
They're like, this sounds too on par. Flag it.
It's better than I could have done. I'll tell you that.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. You can do some pretty good voices too.
Yeah, it depends.
It depends.
But yeah, no, like it's been we didn't do one Sunday because we did a watch, or no, because you were busy. We didn't do one last Wednesday because there was a watch along.
Yeah, so it was last Sunday. That. Yeah. Yeah, that was the one where my voice was gone and
oh right, and we were doing like some ASMR stuff. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And the only reason I remember that actually that we even did that is because our friend, shout out to Kaylee, was like giving us play-by-play of her listening to it.
And sending us gifts all along the way. Yeah. She compared your voice to what's her name? Why can't I remember her name? Roz, thank you. From Monsters Inc.
I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching.
That was pretty good. That one was really good.
Oh man, I laughed out loud. Actually, genuinely laughed out loud when I saw that.
Yeah, that was good.
That was good. That was very good.
I see we got Marcus joining in from vacation in England. Hey, it's
jealous, dude.
It's 3 a.m. I have to be up at 9 a.m. to go on a train at 10 to go to London.
Dude, damn. Dedication. Thank you very much, Marcus.
Thanks for tuning in.
Can we get some air horns from Marcus? Because you still haven't sent me the keyboard file.
I told you, I don't want you to have this power during the Battle of Alberta.
But you can have it? Come on.
Yes.
That's not fair. Yeah. That's not fair.
Hey, I put in the hard 5-minute work to put this together. So actually, it was like an hour because I was being dumb, but still. He says he stayed up just for this, to be honest.
Thank you very much,
We appreciate it, Marcus.
We do appreciate it. But also, make sure to get some sleep.
Yeah, don't want to miss your train. That would be rough. But pretty cool that you're in England. That's a place I've not been able to visit yet, but I think it would be pretty awesome. So
supposed to go last year, but the pandemic kind of put a kibosh to that. So yeah, I was there and Ireland, Scotland. I honestly forget which one I was supposed to. Ireland, yeah, but we were supposed to have like time in London and that sort of thing. So.
Oh yeah,
but eventually I'll be able to do it. So
one day, yeah. We also got Allie tuning in. Quack quack, what's up? I figured you didn't do one because you were too hungover from the Battle of Alberta.
No, like if we're talking about, the Sunday. Yeah, no, the Sunday there was a game. I was just out of town. That's all it was. So
yeah. And he wouldn't have wanted to do one anyways after.
No, that was
a terrible showing.
Yeah, we were talking about it on the live stream for Game 4 last night, and I watched like a good chunk of the first period, and it was fine. But I'm kind of glad that I didn't have a chance to see the rest of it, except for like highlights after the fact. And that was bad. It wasn't as bad for Game 4, luckily from a viewing perspective on my part, but it was still pretty rough as well. That stream is still available on the THP and YouTube channel as well. Be sure to like and subscribe to that if you haven't already as well, and turn on the notification bell. Then when we're live for that, which is Game 5, potentially 6 and 7 from here on out. So, I mean.
I would you.
I would like to have at least a Game 6. That'd be nice. both for for my Flames viewing pleasure, but also for my pocketbook.
Yeah.
For my wallet.
I've got you put money down on the series going to 6 games. So
I didn't actually do it.
Oh no, you didn't?
No, I didn't. I thought about it, but I didn't. So
gotcha. Yeah. I mean, you still predicted it to go to 6 games.
So fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So
we got Lauren chiming in here with a quack quack. Hey Lauren, welcome back.
Lauren?
And going back to our conversation with Marcus here. Ali says, I went to Ireland once and stayed on a peacock farm. Highly recommend.
Ooh, sweet.
That's cool.
Very nice. Very nice.
I
I was gonna say,
I
sorry.
don't think I've ever actually like seen a peacock before, so I don't know if it would like be annoying to be on a peacock
Really?
farm. No, I've seen a peacock, but like not in person.
Have you never been to the Calgary Zoo?
No, I have. Is there peacocks there?
Dude, they just like wander the park.
Oh.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's
All
like
right,
trying to find
Quack
Mickey Mouse at
Report is going
Disneyland.
to
Like
the Calgary Zoo. Apparently, we're gonna go find some ducks and peacocks.
I mean, I've only been like maybe 3 times in my life.
Okay,
and one of those times was in the winter time to see the zoo lights. So
fair enough. Okay, we gotta go at some point because I also want to go see the penguins. I like going to see the penguins.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite part
They're
of the exhibit.
Yeah.
But we also got Craig Granger tuning in here saying go Flames, but GEAUX Flames. How's it going, Craig? Yeah, I mean, we got a little bit of Ducks news. Nothing too crazy, but just something small. Do we want to get into it here?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is your show, dude.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what I was doing.
You're used to watch alongs at this point.
Yeah, apparently.
He's like, yeah, the Jazz is gonna keep going. That's how we'll fill time.
It's been what, like 10 days since we did our last episode, and I already forget how to do this.
Yeah,
this happens all the time.
8 days, I think YouTube said when I was trying to pull up back information.
So Getzlaf was nominated as a finalist for the King Clancy Trophy, which goes to the player who best exemplifies leadership qualities on and off the ice and has made a noteworthy humanitarian contribution in his community. I feel like we've briefly talked about this. I think it must have been on a watch along, or
it must have been.
Or did we just talk about it in general?
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
It had to have been a watch along. Yeah, it had to have been.
Yeah, it was a watch along, or no, it's the Masterton. Maybe that's what we were talking about, the Masterton Trophy, because I think Getzlaf got nominated for that from the Ducks, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, maybe.
I'm double checking that now.
Yeah, because that's the one where, or is that, it's that one in the King Clancy where every team nominates one player, right?
Yeah, the Masterton Trophy is the player who best exemplifies the qualities of perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to hockey. Yeah, I don't. Oh, who did it say? Oh yeah, here we go. PHWA announces the 2022 Masterton Trophy nominees. Yeah, Getzlaf was nominated for it. So yeah, we were talking about the Masterton Trophy, not the King Clancy. So
okay, yeah. So yeah, Getzlaf nominated for the King. Oh my gosh,
the Klingon.
Getzlaf nominated for the King Clancy Trophy, along with Darnell Nurse of Edmonton and PK Subban of New Jersey. And this is Getzlaf's first time being nominated. I think Subban's 4th, if I remember that correctly.
Oh, geez.
And I think Nurse's first as well. So yeah, I mean we saw it with his last game at Honda Center, right? Like all the support and all the people he was talking to from all over the community, kind of on his way out for, I think it was before warm-ups, right? Like you kind of saw the people that he had touched along the way. So
it was when he was arriving to the rink for that game. But yeah, just, tons of people lining the hallways and that sort of thing. And I forget if it was a past episode or watch along. I don't even remember like who I was talking to. It might not have even been you. Who knows? I just like to talk hockey in general. But there's a difference between, like, and a lot of the time you can tell, like, let's be honest, there's not a whole lot of great actors in hockey. There are, some, don't get me wrong. But like there's kind of the difference. Like sometimes you can tell when someone's like, pretending to recognize or that sort of thing. Ryan Getzlaf looked like he genuinely recognized every single person in that hallway. And like gave him a moment and everything like that as well. So, but yeah, you're right. He's helped out a lot of people. And just to there was some information here in this article on the Ducks website. I'm just trying to find it here exactly. Where did that go? Oh yeah, so Getzlaff has spearheaded numerous organizational charitable initiatives throughout his 17 NHL seasons in Southern California, including the launch of the Ducks Learn to Play program in 2008. Getzlaff donated his time and resources to help kids skate who otherwise couldn't afford to play, with 18,000 kids. No, I didn't read that wrong. 18,000 kids having participated in the Learn to Play program to date, while he has helped provide 9,500 kids with full sets of hockey equipment. Throughout his career, he has also helped the Anaheim Ducks Foundation raise more than $15.5 million to support its mission to produce positive change for children and families throughout Southern California by providing educational opportunities, broadening access to the sport of hockey, and addressing the health and wellness needs of the community. In 2011, he launched the annual Getzlaff Shootout, helping raise over $4.27 million to fund impactful research for the nonprofit organization. Cure Duchenne raises awareness and funds research to find a cure for, I really hope I'm saying that right, Duchenne. Duchenne muscular dystrophy, a progressive muscle disease that impacts 1 in every 3,500 boys.
That's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of stuff, and that's a lot of money that he has put towards and helped raise and everything like that. So very deserving, and it feels almost fitting that it's, at the end of his final season in the NHL, that he's up for this award.
It's kind of like a cap on everything too, especially because this last year was very much a transition into okay, what's the legacy I can leave on the game and some of these players that are just entering the league. So this trophy is kind of the capstone of okay, this is what this is my legacy on hockey in general, not just in the NHL or with the Ducks. So it's leave a legacy or win a cup, break a bunch of records for yourself, and then leave a legacy on some of the young guys, leave a legacy for the Ducks, leave a legacy for the NHL, leave a legacy for hockey in general. It's just so much stuff, and it's just kind of, he's slowly getting that recognition for everything that he's done now because it's coming to the end of his career.
Yeah, exactly.
I think this comment from Ali was in regards to the amount of full kits of gear that he was able to provide with his foundation. Wow, that's so many in such a short time. You say all those numbers, and you said that was 2008 was kind of when he started the
2008. Right? 2008 was the start of the Ducks Learn to Play program.
Yeah, so in my mind, that's a long time ago, but really that's 14 years ago. That's not a long time for a charitable foundation to be around. So to accomplish that much is crazy.
Yeah, exactly. There was also a comment here from Ali. It's crazy that Subban's been nominated so many times, though. Going to have to look up what he's done. I'm just pulling up their article right now, the Devils. So he's a finalist actually for the 3rd straight year and his 4th time overall. And that's between Montreal, Nashville, and now New Jersey as well, having been there for a few seasons.
Yeah.
Subban launched the Blue Line Buddies to help bridge the gap between law enforcement and underprivileged children with game day in-person meet and greets. He brought the program from Nashville to New Jersey there in Newark. And even with the challenges brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, Subban continued to do the program by holding those meet and greets via, Zoom or that kind of thing. In the past, Subban has donated millions of dollars to the Montreal Children's Hospital and established PK's Helping Hand, a foundation to provide financial support to families with children suffering from illnesses. His efforts have included a $10 million pledge to the Montreal Children's Hospital in 2015, which is the largest ever donation by a Canadian athlete, or pledge. A $1 million gift in March for Les Spots, the hospital's new mental health clinic, and donations for Ukrainian cancer patients who have been uprooted amid their country's current war. Additionally, he has spread his personal credo to change the game by speaking out on racial and social and justice issues, and serving as the co-chair of the NHL's Player Inclusion Committee, which guides initiatives and programs that foster a more inclusive environment for underrepresented hockey players. I also want to add in here, because it's not there, which is kind of a shame, that he is on the board, or like one of the founding members, I believe, of the Hockey Diversity Alliance.
Mhm.
The HDA there with Akeem Alou. I believe Darnell Nurse is also part of that, which I'll pull up his stuff, about now that we've gone through Subban as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, not that these guys are, looking for recognition because of like what they're like from what they're doing or that kind of thing, right? But I want to bring some recognition to it, right? Like, these are awesome people who, yeah, like you were talking about, Carter, like their legacy and that sort of thing, right? Like, hockey is their means to be able to do something good.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I will pull up Darnell Nurse here if you have
Yeah, sure.
anything you would like to say.
Yeah, just about Subban. I thought he had won the King Clancy before, but he actually hasn't. So he's only been
Oh, really?
nominated the 4 times. And yeah, for some reason I thought he won it like kind of when he was in Montreal, I think.
Mhm.
But no, I must be thinking of the Norris Trophy, because he won that in 2013, which I believe he was still in Montreal then.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, so I mean, like you said, it really matter to these guys if they win or not. Like, um this isn't
Yeah,
a trophy that anyone like actively seeks out for
yeah,
the sake of getting the trophy, right? But
but it's
it would
definitely
be nice for him to get it after all of
yeah,
these years of being nominated, right?
yeah, exactly. It's definitely something that yeah, it's a pride thing, right? To, like you said, it's not something that you actively go out to try to win this award or that sort of thing, right? But you can take some pride in it that your help has been recognized and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Um, Not to the same extent as these guys or anything like that, but like, I remember for my junior lacrosse team, we had a award kind of similar, like, just, the player who gives back to the game of lacrosse.
Hmm.
And I was fortunate enough to win that all 4 years I played, and that sort of
Nice.
thing. And that's an award I hold very dear to my heart and that sort of thing. And
Yeah.
I actually got to meet the daughter of who the award's named after and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a really cool experience. So yeah, I do have Darnell Nurse's stuff here now. So Darnell Nurse has served as a pillar in the community throughout his tenure in Edmonton, focusing on initiatives dedicated to immigrants and Indigenous youth, education access, mentorship, and racial and social justice. As an ambassador of Free Play for Kids, Nurse helps provide marginalized children, many of whom are refugees, new Canadians, or Indigenous youth, with the opportunity to play sports in a safe, accessible, and inclusive environment, and offers kids from Edmonton's most socially vulnerable schools the chance to attend an Oilers game and meet him afterwards. Whoever wrote that really needs to work on their run-on sentences.
Yeah.
He also serves as an ambassador for Right to Play, which aims to protect, educate, and empower children to raise above adversity through the power of sport. Nurse expanded his efforts in helping kids by announcing the creation of the Darnell Nurse Excellence Scholarship in 2021, teaming up with St. Thomas More Catholic Secondary School, his alma mater, in Hamilton, Ontario, to award 2 scholarships each year to deserving students pursuing post-secondary aspirations. Nurse has also been a prominent youth mentor and an outspoken advocate for diversity and inclusion, recently serving as a spokesperson for the league's Respect Hockey initiative.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah, great things done by all 3 of these guys.
yeah, like I think we talked about, or I talked about this when we talked about the Masterton Trophy, like when Bobby Ryan won it. I don't think it was last year. I think it was 2 years ago, and I remember we talked about it.
For the Masterton, you said, sorry?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was a while back, anyways. So long-time listeners might remember this, but it was I had said something like, this is like all of the guys that were nominated for the Masterton that year were deserving of it equally, and like
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of a shame that like you only kind of had your one chance at winning it, and like it it's not that it felt like it took away from like the accomplishments and like the things that these people overcome came for the Masterton.
Yeah.
Because like with Bobby Ryan, it was dealing with like addiction, if I remember
Yeah, it
correctly,
was
right?
alcoholism and substance abuse.
Yeah,
So
and then I think that was also the same year Oscar Lindblom from Philly was nominated, and he had like overcome I don't remember the type of cancer, but some form of cancer, and then returned to the
yeah,
game, right? So it's like
which
both of those guys are
mhm,
equally they should equally be recognized for those accomplishments. So it's like you should almost just give that award to them like at any point in the season. It's like, oh,
yeah,
Bobby Ryan came back after battling substance abuse and like scored a hat trick. Like, here you go. Here's the Masterton. Like, that's huge. And
yeah,
then
you could
like,
have like multiple winners throughout a year, or even just instead of like, oh, we're only gonna pick one name. Yeah, you could have the three finalists be the three winners, kind of thing.
yeah. So I almost think
Lindblom
like for the same. Oh, sorry. Go ahead with.
Lindblom did win it, was nominated as well, and won it the next year for 2021.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So
So I
yeah,
got my years overlapped a little bit.
I think he was. Yeah,
Was he nominated
I
that
believe he
year as
was
well?
nominated for 2020 as well because he didn't. I don't think he wasn't playing in the bubble because that's kind of when it started, and
Right.
then it went into the next season. So
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. So I almost feel like it should kind of be that way with the King Clancy as well. Cause like you read off of all of these guys'
mhm.
um,
They're all deserving.
accomplishments against. Yeah. It's like, it's hard to pick just one. So like, I mean, to them, being nominated is probably enough of a recognition, right? But like,
Yeah,
it's, it should almost be like, okay, this is the end of Getzlaff's career. Like, let's nominate him for it. And it's like, oh, PK Subban has been doing this for 5 years and like contributing $2 million every year. Like, let's recognize him next year or something like that.
mhm.
Like, uh, once guys reach like a very subjective milestones, like they should be recognized,
Yeah,
kind of thing. So,
yeah,
I don't know. Again, that's just me nitpicking and a little bit and trying to, you know, make it so that all of these guys get like their fair share of
yeah,
recognition, right? But like
yeah. Their
it's
moment in the spotlight, kind of thing for the good that they've done in their communities. So
yeah. Um so yeah, I mean obviously we hope that Getzlaff wins it because A, it's kind of his last chance, and B,
mhm.
he has done a lot for it. But I mean, I think just being nominated is awesome, and he'll probably can still continue to help out with all of those things that he's done.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, exactly.
um yeah, anything else you want to say about Getzlaff here, Nate?
No, I think we covered it. So yeah, congratulations to all three of those guys for being nominated. It's unfortunate that only one person can win it. All three of these guys are deserving. Plus the others as well that maybe didn't make the final cut, right? Like
Yeah.
if you give back to your community in some way, you're deserving of this trophy. So
Sorry, I thought you were going to talk longer.
nope, all
our,
good.
our,
All
mo-
good.
our, our mojo is all mixed up. I thought I could sneak some water in there. But quickly before we get into um, the Stanley Cup final or Stanley Cup playoff talk here, a couple questions I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, sure.
First from Lauren here. I find it strange that Barry Trotz and Peter DeBoer were fired by the Islanders and Golden Knights, but we keep Dallas Eakins. I mean, yeah, like looking at like the success that the Islanders and the Golden Knights had, like, well, almost success. Like they almost made the playoffs, right? And like how not close the Ducks were. Like,
Yeah.
just going off of that, it's like, okay, well, maybe Eakin should have been fired as well. But I don't know. These, like, first of all, I understand your point, and I do think that
Mhm.
we should have let Eakins go. But with Trotz and DeBoer, like it feels a little different to me because it's almost like they're not getting fired for the team underperforming. Like they're being fired because they want a different voice.
Yeah,
Does
so
that make sense?
so Barry Trotz and the Islanders, it sounds like you said. The reports coming out were just, they just needed a different voice in the locker room and that sort of thing, which then they follow up with hiring their assistant coach. I forget his name, but that's not really much of a different voice. So I feel like there's something
Yeah,
else going on there we just haven't heard of, and we probably never will because it's Lou Lamoriello as the GM there in New York.
yeah,
Pete DeBoer, is, I think, a completely different animal in the sense that there was a lot of public battles, I guess, in a way, with Robin Leonard as one example, but a few different
Mhm.
players, especially throughout this season. And I do feel like it could be a voice thing as well. And you take a look at Pete DeBoer's track record as well. That it's kind of got it's kind of like Barry Trotz, or not Barry Trotz, sorry, John Tortorella,
Mhm.
where they seem to kind of have like a shelf life before it doesn't really work anymore.
Mhm.
And I feel like
Yeah.
that was kind of it with Pete DeBoer as well. So I think it was kind of a mix of the two. That being said, though, in relation to Anaheim, because everything should actually revolve around Anaheim, let's be honest here. I don't see either of these two coaches being the fit, if that's maybe where you're going with this, Lauren. Barry Trotz is a very defensive minded coach. I don't think that really works as well for the Ducks. I'm sure John Gibson would probably love it a little bit more, but we're looking at potentially like high flying offense, right? With guys like
Mhm.
Zegras and hopefully Comtois if he can put it together again. Terry, Milano, just to name a few guys,
Yeah.
and Pete DeBoer. Yeah, it just I don't know. I just don't see a fit whatsoever. The only reason I feel like I'd want Pete DeBoer as the coach, to be honest, is that he has coached two teams now, as far as I can recall. I might have to take a look again. Two teams within our division, so he knows a fair deal of how they work and
Mhm.
that sort of thing. But I don't really see either of those two guys fitting in. Now, for Dallas Eakins specifically, I've kind of come to the not the realization, but um, the just kind of the acceptance that there's a plan by Pat Verbeek here, right? And there's the extension of or not even an extension. It's the renewal, I guess, of one season, and I feel like it's because Pat Verbeek has somebody else in mind that's not available yet.
Mhm.
So you just, okay, you know what? We'll give him, because really this was his first full season. They did have flashes of greatness before injuries plagued and whatever else John Gibson picked up in Vegas. Um, but I don't know. I don't mind having some time kind of away from everything. I don't mind giving him one more shot, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
Um, Now, ask me again in what it's May. So yeah,
Mid October.
ask me, yeah, mid October. You know what? Let's go by like American Thanksgiving in November there.
Yeah.
Ask me then again, and I might have less hair on my head from pulling it out because of Dallas Eakins. But I don't know. I feel actually more comfortable with it right now, just with that idea at least of there's somebody else in mind, and we needed somebody still to hold that spot for them in the meantime.
Yeah. Yeah. And in my mind too, like because it's just like the 1 year option on his contract, like it wasn't an extension for multiple years. It's like to me that kind of alludes to like you said, okay, we're not ready to move on to the next coach yet. Like
Mhm.
either they're not available or we don't know who that is. We don't know the identity of this team. And Dallas Eakins like already has a rapport with these guys that are there, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I don't think he's like lost any of them either. Like I think Zegras and Terry and Gibson and Fowler like still have a ton of respect for Dallas Eakins and know like they kind of have knowledge of what the expectations are both from the coach and the Eakins knows kind of what to expect from these guys. Um, but I mean, our team's going to be drastically different going into next season,
Yeah.
right? So how can you be like, I want this coach, and then let's try and bring a bunch of players in, and oh shit, now all of a sudden we have like this high flying team and this defensive coach, like that doesn't really match up. Like
Mhm.
at least with Eakins, you know what you're getting, right?
Yeah.
So that's that. Yeah, I
Which
kind of
is
agree
just
with you in that sense.
it's
So
somebody serviceable right now.
yeah,
So
um, I
I'm not saying he's great or he's the guy or anything like that. He's serviceable. So
yeah. She clarifies here in a couple other comments. I'm saying that we need a new head coach who wants to win because Dallas Eakins isn't going to cut it. Eakins can't lead. He plays the wrong lineups. He doesn't make adjustments. He has a losing record, and he sucks.
I'm not arguing with
No, yeah,
with your
exactly.
points.
Yeah,
I'm just saying there's there at the time at least, and maybe he could have waited a little bit longer, but there wasn't. It didn't look like there was anyone available who could potentially work with at least what was constructed at the time for this team.
yeah. If
So
if this team has a losing record by say like January, but like a losing record, but like they still look like they could maybe make it into the playoffs. And it looks like Eakins continues to be the problem. I could see him being let go. Like I think his leash is very, very short. But so yeah, that's kind of where I sit with that. And like who knows? Maybe Pat Verbeek is now just gonna, kind of not build the team around Eakins, but like, give him players that he can actually work with because he hasn't really had that for the last couple of years. In all fairness to Eakins. So
that's
good
old Bob Murray.
Yeah. So
it's been rough goings, right? So
yeah. So I don't know. That's kind of yeah. Like you said, after some time away from it, like I'm ready to give him another shot, but the leash is very short.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
The other comment here that we'll get to. Well, we'll talk about it now, but we'll get to it later as well. Non-hockey question from Ali. How hyped are you guys for Obi-Wan Kenobi? Nate's got a big smile across his face.
Oh yeah. I am so excited. I've watched a couple interviews here and there with like Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, and like seeing we'll get into this a bit more later because I am super excited for the first 2 episodes to come out on Friday. But just them acknowledging that or being able to recognize now that the people like Carter and I, right, who grew up with the prequels, we're now old enough to have a voice and a presence, right? Whereas, back in, 99, I guess, for Ewan McGregor, and then starting for like 2001, 2002 for Hayden Christensen, right, taking on the role of Anakin. The people who were the Star Wars fans before who had the voice were the fans of the original trilogy when they were kids, right? Like Star Wars really is a multi-generational thing at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been around for today was the 45th anniversary of the original movie coming out. And so, but yeah, so the people like us now have a voice and are giving out our appreciation for these movies and that sort of thing. Revenge of the Sith is a top 3 Star Wars movie for myself personally. It's not like, oh, it's the dark movie or that kind of thing. Just having also it got brought up even higher after the fact for myself because of the Clone Wars series. But I also remember like the day I went to go see episode 3 on opening day with my dad. I wore it was a Hogwarts Halloween like cloak, but I think I just like covered up whatever like Hogwarts patch was on it and had my lightsaber at school and everything like that. And we went straight from school to the movie theater and went and saw it and that. So like I got fond memories of that movie too. But yeah, just them like, kind of seeing the appreciation now for what they did like almost 20 years later, right? That's ridiculous and sad almost, but at the same time, they're able to come back to this now and have so many people embrace them as these characters and whatnot, right? Like you could almost argue that Ewan McGregor is more synonymous with Obi-Wan than in Star Wars fans' minds than Alec Guinness is, right? And again, that might depend on what generation you're from, right? Like for my dad, Obi-Wan is Alec Guinness. For myself, Obi-Wan is Ewan McGregor and James Arnold Taylor as well if you're looking at voice acting. But yeah, so I'm super hyped for this series. I've only watched like the 2 little trailers and I've stayed away from everything else because I do want to go into this as fresh as possible. But I'm excited to see Ewan back as well, not even back really as Obi-Wan, right? He is Ben Kenobi at this point, hiding from the Empire. Hayden Christensen returning, presumably mostly in the Darth Vader suit, but he'll, it's it'll be the Anakin mannerisms inside the suit and everything like that too. There was rumors that we might even get some Clone Wars flashbacks. So I mean, if we can get Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen in like, you know, the modified clone armor, basically fighting in the Clone Wars and that sort of thing, who knows? Maybe we get surprised even with a live action young Ahsoka from that era, right? You don't know what to expect actually. So, yeah, no, I'm super excited. I'm super excited. If you can't tell, I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not as excited about it as Nate because I don't think many people are more excited. But no, I'm definitely looking forward to it as well. Yeah, like Nate and I are the same age, so like we grew up with these movies, and like we're the same age when they came out, and very impressionable young kids that like Star Wars was kind of like our dads both liked Star Wars, but we're like, oh, those are old people movies. I mean, not really, but like to an extent, it's like that's your thing. And then like they came out with these new ones, and we were like, oh fuck yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we were 2 when episode 1 came out, so I guess yeah.
The second movie I can ever remember seeing, I think, would have been episode 2, Attack of the Clones, because I do remember going to see the original Spider-Man, which came out I think a month or even just like a few weeks before that. I'd have to look at the release dates again, but I do remember going to both of those movies at least. And like I said, I remember going to episode 3, and since episode 3, my dad and I have gone to every single Star Wars movie that's been released for the first time. And yes, even including the animated Clone Wars movie, which, you know, then spawned the TV show. So,
yeah. So yeah, needless to say, we're very excited for it. I still haven't finished the Book of Boba Fett. I'm like halfway through it, but and like I know that they don't. Well, I'm assuming they don't carry over, but I still feel like I need to watch the Book of Boba Fett before.
No, I don't believe it will, because Obi-Wan is set 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, 9 years before the original movie, whereas the Book of Boba Fett is set like years after episode 6. So yeah, you should be fine.
Yeah, exactly. But like I still like in my mind, I can't like just jump to
that's fair
to that one. Like I
know what you're binging tonight then.
So. Yeah, I mean, well, tonight, tomorrow, Friday before watching the Kenobi, it'll happen. So
it'll happen.
Because there's only like 7 episodes, I think, Book of Boba Fett, and I've seen like 3
6
or
7.
So, so like halfway there. But yes, very excited for it. The prospect of being able to watch Kenobi is getting me through the Book of Boba Fett. Not like getting me through, but like getting me to, you know, actually watch it, because it is good. But well, let's take a quick break here, I guess, and then that should leave us a decent amount of time to talk about the 4 series that are going on in the Stanley Cup playoffs here. So here's a message from DraftKings. Promo code THPN is what you can use at sign up for exclusive offers, and we'll see you in just a couple minutes.
Hockey fans, the pursuit for the Stanley Cup is on, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, has an unbelievable offer for the most exciting playoffs in sports. New customers can bet just $5 on any team to win and get $100 in free bets no matter what, win or lose. Looking to turn a small bet into a big payday during playoffs? With DraftKings same-game parlays, you can do just that. Create your own parlay by combining multiple bets, like which team will win, how many goals will be scored, and more. It's your shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, and best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. So, what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, use the promo code THPN, bet just $5 on any NHL team to win, and get $100 in free bets no matter what. Again, that's code THPN, as in the Hockey Podcast Network, only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Just so everybody's aware, maybe we even want to start talking about this series, unless you want to leave it for the end because there's 3 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Nathan McKinnon just scored a hat trick.
Oh, nice.
So, like just 3 minutes ago. So
Sick.
the game is currently 4-3 St. Louis with 2:45 left, is what I'm seeing here.
4-3 St. Louis?
Or sorry, 4-3 Colorado.
Oh, okay. I was very confused for a second because last I saw it was 3-1 Colorado. But,
Yeah, my apologies. My apologies.
I was thinking let's start with Tampa Bay, Florida, since that's the only series that's done so far.
Yeah, and I guess we can be quick about that, considering Tampa was pretty quick about that.
Yeah, exactly. No, like
I don't think anybody saw that coming.
no, no, absolutely not.
Like, don't get me wrong, everybody was expecting probably a good battle, right?
Yeah,
And it was kind of up in the air, I feel like, where, oh yeah, you have, Florida's been on a tear and that kind of thing, right? They did awesome in the regular season. And you got Tampa, who played a very strong series against the Maple Leafs.
yeah.
And they know what they're doing. And yeah, I don't think anybody expected the Florida Panthers, who were the highest scoring team in the NHL this year, to only have 3 goals in 4 games.
Yeah, they were shut out for the first time all
This
season.
Yeah.
I think
in an
during the regular
elimination
season,
game.
yeah, during
What
the
a time.
regular season, they only scored 1 goal in 3 games. Every other game, it was like way more. It was like,
Yeah.
I guess 2 or more. And then in this series alone, they had 3 games where they only scored 1 goal. Like, and I don't even think it was because of a lack of trying for them. Like they had, I mean, in the elimination game, they insanely outshot them.
wait,
Like
let me-
49-26 in game 4.
I was gonna take a guess. I was gonna say
Oh, sorry.
49. I was gonna say 49-27. I almost had it.
Yeah. 35-36 in game 3. 36 for the Panthers, 28 for the Lightning in game 2, 34-36. So like they all of the games they had a decent effort.
Vasilevsky is an animal.
He's insane, dude. Absolutely insane.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think it's for lack of trying for Florida. It's just Tampa Bay ascending to another level.
Yeah. What was there's a stat that I saw or heard, and it was Vasilevsky, I think, in the last 7 potential like clinching games that go back to 2020 in the bubble. Vasilevsky has allowed 1 goal. And
Yeah,
that was
it
the
was-
last
it
that
was
was the last
against the
series
Leafs.
against Toronto.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
other game he's gotten a shutout in clinching situations. What the fuck?
Yeah, like get me that guy's meal plan. Like that's
Yeah, right?
That's insane. Or like I want to drink out of his taps. Like
Get me that guy's
sell
height,
Vasilevsky
please.
tap water.
Yeah, give me that guy's height. You put him and I together, you get an average sized human being.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Tampa Bay is going to get a good rest here before they face the winner of New York and Carolina.
Which that's going to be a good series no matter who takes that one.
Yeah. Let's how's the other one doing? I think it's over now.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say we can finish off the East and then we
Oh, yeah,
can
sure.
head over to West.
Yeah, sure.
There's
Sounds
a
good.
minute. There's a minute left.
Okay. So yeah, New York, Carolina. That series is all tied up at deuces. So we're gonna have at least 2 more games of that one. Carolina is perfect at home and imperfect
Yeah.
on the road. It's like 6-0 at home, 0-5 on the road during the playoffs.
Jeez. Like they're lucky they have home ice advantage for this series, do they not?
Yep.
Yeah,
they do.
right. Because game 1 and 2 were in Carolina, and that might honestly be the difference maker here, right? If this goes to 7, like it's if you look at the trends for both teams, the only way that New York gets out of this is if they manage to take one in Carolina.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this is in 7 for Carolina. So
Yeah. Is this just a weird statistical anomaly? Jesus, a weird statistical anomaly that Carolina has only won at home, or are they just garbage on the road? Because like that wasn't the story in the regular season. Like they were dominant everywhere. So
I
is it
think
just like a weird thing, or
I don't know. I think it's kind of Carolina, especially over the last few years, is very well known for their home, right? Like playing at
yeah?
home and their crowd and everything like that. Whether it's the
Mhm.
storm surge at the end of games or just like whatever, right? Um, they always just seem to do super well there. So I think that definitely has a factor into it, and kind of like what we were
Mhm.
talking about Calgary and Edmonton before the second round started, right? Um, there there is advantage obviously to home ice and that kind of thing, right? Like having that advantage in the first round, but it
Yeah.
could even just be for them that doing stuff like from home earlier in the day instead of like out of a hotel and that kind of thing just works better for that group as a whole, right?
Yeah.
And it just gets a little there's just something about it that just gets a little bit more out of them. So
Hmm. Yeah, no, that could be it. But I mean, if they're gonna, I mean,
oh
they could
so, all right,
potentially.
St. Louis tied it up.
Oh, interesting.
We're
It's kind of
potentially looking at overtime here.
um, it's yeah, with Carolina, it's very possible that they have home ice for the whole playoffs, like because they had that good of a regular season, right?
Yeah,
So it could not really matter. But I mean,
I think they would have
I
to
think you kind of have to figure out how to play on the road if you're gonna win
yeah,
the cup, right?
I think they would have to face, if I remember correctly, it would the only way they wouldn't have home ice is like if they played Colorado, if I'm not mistaken.
You could
I'd
be
have to
right about
look at
that.
that.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
Colorado or Florida, but Florida's out.
Florida's out, yeah.
Um, so yeah, Colorado did finish higher than them. So until the finals, anyways. If both of those teams make it, but
Mhm.
yeah, that's I mean, yeah, it's been an interesting series to watch. Like I haven't really watched the games, but I've just kind of followed it from afar, and
Mhm.
it's been interesting.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
um, yeah. Well, I was hoping by the time we got here, we would have a like the series would be over, but of course St. Louis had to make it interesting here,
Yeah.
and as you said, tie it up here. So, um, yeah, looks. I mean, Colorado's up 3-1 right now. Game 5 is going to overtime, so one goal could either make it a 3-2 series or a finished 4-1 series here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean Colorado just continues to be dominant. Like they had their one loss to St. Louis and then just like shelled them the next game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I honestly I was looking at this series like once the matchup came and I'm like, yeah, just right away Colorado has this. So
Yeah.
it's the one time it almost felt kind of obvious, but mind you, I'll bite my tongue a little bit right now. Sorry, any Avs fans listening, just in case. Because I mean, you never know. You could come back from a 3-1 deficit. It's happened before.
Yeah.
But I just don't see it happening against the fucking Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, right. Like,
So I would be
yeah.
very surprised if St. Louis like roars back like that. So
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, St. Louis has a solid team, otherwise they wouldn't be here, right? But
yeah.
they're like I think they play similar to like the Islanders and like how the Habs did last year and like Dallas and LA played in this
Mhm.
year's playoffs that took Calgary and Edmonton to 7 games. Like that, like they just play a relatively responsible defensive game and then just capitalize on their opportunities, right? So,
Yeah.
like they have just enough offensive threats to be able to actually score goals. So, I think St. Louis is kind of one of those teams that's built for the playoffs and to try and overcome teams like Colorado. Um, I still had this series, I think, only going to 6 games, and Colorado taking it, but it's
Yeah.
and
That's
yeah, I
about
have a
what I
hard
had
time
too.
believing that St. Louis is going to win 3 in a row here, but who knows?
Yeah. Never know.
So, um, yeah, Binnington is officially out for the series there after the collision with I want to say it was Barbashev for St. Louis and
Yeah.
Calgary,
I think it was Barbashev and Kadri. Yeah.
or was it
I could be wrong on that.
Barabanov? I don't remember.
Oh no, I think it was Barabanov.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
always mix those two up because their names are so similar, and I don't
Yeah.
follow St. Louis
No,
enough. But
Barbashev's Barbashev's
yeah, I think
yeah.
I think he's a forward. Yeah,
I don't remember offhand, but
but yeah, at least out for the series, anyways.
Mhm.
And then beyond that, we're not totally sure. So, And then obviously there was the whole incident with Kadri away from the ice that
Yeah.
that sucks. And we kind of talked about it on our watch along, but
Yeah,
I don't know if you
and
want to touch on
yeah,
it
I was gonna say,
briefly.
you know what, we're not on the watch along right now. Like, yes, we're live, but we're on our show, so I'll dive a little bit more into it. Yeah, so after this, Nazem Kadri, starts receiving a bunch of racist messages and like death threats and everything like that. And I was listening to the Steve Dangle podcast today, and they were talking about how there's the select ones that his wife had shared on her social media, right? Of like
Yeah.
this is what we're dealing with right now and everything like that.
Which I love to see that. Just like not like full
Yeah.
names and handles out there and like the exact message.
Oh yeah,
Like,
and
that
it
makes me
was
so happy.
and it was Mike Stevens, I think, from The Athletic. I hope I'm remembering that correctly. He had shared that as well, and then in the as a thread on the tweet there, he had said that it was like some relative of one of the people who had sent a message that their handle was in there. They're now receiving like attacking messages and whatnot, and everybody's just like, "Oh, we're calling the kettle black here." Yeah, honestly, like if I'm trying to think of how to go about this
Pick
besides
your words carefully. Yeah.
yeah. You know what? Actually, I don't even think
let it fly.
I don't even think I really need to. If you're sending those kind of messages to somebody like Nazem, like whether they're a professional athlete, whether you're saying it in person to a person of color or anything like that in real life, over a phone, which even then that's even more cowardly, I think. If you're doing anything of that sort whatsoever, you are a fucking scum of the earth, piece of shit, douchebag, asshole. Like,
sorry, I don't have a censor button on here, but
I don't have enough words to describe how awful of a human being you are and how much of a waste of space you are on the planet that we know as Earth. Just like, there's no point in telling yourself to take a look in the mirror or anything like that, because you're probably so ingrained in what your thought process is, and that you are unable to be a logical human being, in my opinion. I have no tolerance for racism whatsoever. And I have actually I'm actually fairly calm, believe it or not, here. Like, and I know what I'm saying and everything like that, and I'd say it at any other time. I've been, sharing everything that's been going on with the Akeem Alou stuff and I'm a supporter of it. I've worn my HDA merch on here, and I know, just kind of showing off doesn't exactly do everything, right? But buying that stuff, goes towards helping people we talk about this whole thing of hockey's for everyone and that sort of thing. And as long as people like this, like the people that are sending Nazem Kadri messages and whatnot, the people that are I think it was Wayne Simmons when he was in junior or early on in his NHL career, I think somebody threw like a banana at him and stuff like that.
that's right, yeah.
There's the instance of I forget which brother it is in the ECHL, I believe it was, who is getting the monkey thing like put at him by
gesture,
like other the gesture at other players, and that there's no room for it whatsoever. And until we get rid of all that kind of stuff and the people that think that way, hockey is not unfortunately going to be for everyone. I'm sorry to break the news and that sort of thing, and I know we use sports as an escape to a certain extent, right? But these are real human beings at the end of the day, right? Who deserve just some decency and at least a smidge of respect before you're starting to throw out racist remarks and death threats above anything else, right? Like I said, I was listening to the Dangle podcast, and they brought up a good point. Those messages that Nazem Kadri's wife had shared are not the ones that they probably have with police that had Kadri on a 24-hour watch by Denver police, right? Those are not those messages, right? That means that those messages are even worse.
That's probably horrible. The tip of the iceberg, because I read those and when I obviously they're still bad, but when I read those, I was like, wow, those are obviously bad. Horrible. But I was like, none of them were death threats. So I was like, man, that means there's way worse that is out there.
Which is
just the thought of that is chilling to me, that people would say worse than that. shit that's out there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's awful.
So long story short, to wrap up this entire rant, which this is like, I feel like one of the more justified rants that I've had on the 3 years, almost 4 years of this show. To wrap it up, if you're a racist, if you're making racist remarks, if you're sending death threats because of a game that is people, swinging sticks at a piece of vulcanized rubber on a sheet of ice. If you're sending that kind of stuff, if you're saying it in public, like whether, again, they're professional athletes or just a normal everyday person, you are a piece of garbage, and I have no fucking time for you whatsoever, and nobody else should either.
Well said. I'm going to bring this comment up from Allie again because it's just too good. But
thank you, Allie.
Yeah. For those listening, it's the like the clap.
Yeah.
Clap back emoji, kind of like the yes, whatever, however you want to describe it. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So sorry, I took a little bit longer than our.
It's good.
We said about like 5-10 minutes kind of for each series, but I really need to get that off.
It needs
my
to be
chest.
said. Yeah.
And you only got so many characters on Twitter and that sort of thing,
yeah.
right? But we have this platform, and that goes to like dedicated listeners of this show. If you're tuning in for the first time or that kind of thing, I don't care who you are. Just be a decent human being. It's not that hard, right? There's no point in hating someone for the color of their skin that is completely outside of their control. There's no reason for it. So,
yeah. I just want to bring up Allie's comment as well. People of color also use sports as an escape, and this is what they have to deal with. It's disgusting and so discouraging for young kids who see themselves in players like Kadri. Yeah, that's and this one too that just came in. Also, do they not realize hockey started as an indigenous sport? Yeah, like it's.
Yeah, there's roots of that, along with like Europeans coming over and that kind of thing. But you're right. There's roots in indigenous sports and that kind of thing. And I as I said before, my big thing is like I watch hockey. I'm really invested in that sort of thing in hockey in that respect. But growing up, and still now I play lacrosse, right, which is a very indigenous sport, right? Like it was. Like looking at the history of the sport and everything like that, it was used as a alternative to warfare between tribes and that sort of thing as well, right? Like instead of you're scoring on a goal or that kind of thing, it was it was moving into enemy territory, right? And if you were controlling basically play when you got to the other tribe's camp, like you won, was kind of the idea of it, and then it evolved into this other thing. So especially like like I unfortunately have seen firsthand some of these racist things like while I was playing and whatnot. It was disgusting. So I hope we can have a better future for sport in general, not even just hockey, but until that thought process is eliminated or those people are quieted down. And for those of you who are saying like, oh, they're like it's woke and everything like that, just shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, please.
I did see on Reddit as well someone that had made one of those comments that was then posted by Kadri's wife. They're associated in some way with like some sort of school, and the school put out a letter saying like, we're investigating this person. They're currently like suspended until investigation's completed. So I am glad that like there is actually repercussions for this, because like you can post and say like, oh, look at what this person said all you want, but until there's actually consequences, like nothing's actually gonna happen for those people. Like they're just gonna continue making those comments and being awful people. So it's just so I'm glad in that respect. I said this on the watch along as well, like props to Kadri to be able to, while all this stuff is going on, just still be able to focus in on the game. Like obviously that's not like the most important thing. I mean for him it might be, is this is my job, like I gotta still show up and do my job. But the fact that he was able to do that, like when him and his family are receiving literal death threats, he's able to go out and score a hat trick for his team. Like just gotta like commend the like I want to say thought process, but like the will power, I guess, to be able to go and do that. Like the mental strength, I guess, to do that. Like it's just, I said it better on the watch along. So just go listen to that. But like,
Yeah.
it's just character wise, it's like commendable that
Yeah.
Kadri was able to do that. So,
and I do want to bring up this comment here from Ali really quickly. That's why the Blues need to say something and take a stance. They're making it worse by not saying anything. This out earlier from Adam Wild, saying, source tells me the reason the St. Louis Blues have yet to make a statement about the targeted racist abuse Nazem Kadri has received is, quote, we're working on something. It's been days. This shouldn't have to be work. This should have to be a half hour at most of the PR department and then sending it over to, like graphics and your social media team, basically, to make it all look pretty. Like not the words, like not the wording, like just literally make it pretty and put it out there of, we do not we condemn these fans that are sending these messages, and racism has no place in our sport.
Yeah. It was easy.
It's that easy.
You had feelings.
It's that easy.
you had feelings, you wrote them down, and then you said them.
Yeah, like
that's it. That's all you got to do.
We don't need a novel about it. It's been days. I think the St. Louis Blues have said well enough by not saying anything.
Yeah.
So,
well, we're gonna take a sharp right here into the Battle of Alberta.
We're going to go from one depressing thing to another, depending on your perspective, I guess. So,
yeah,
we're going from a depressing thing to a happy thing. If you're Carter, we're going from one depressing thing to a completely different type of depressing thing. If you're myself.
Yeah. I feel like there was a comment. Actually, there was, but I just need to go back and find it and then save it. But, where did it go? Nate, say something while I find this because I can't talk and read at the same time. How do you feel about this series? No, about the series.
Game 1 was great, obviously, but remove the score from a Flames perspective. That was a great game by the Flames themselves.
Game 4.
I'm talking about Game 1. Sorry.
Oh, Game 1. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
This is why I need to listen still.
After that, I'd say Game 2 was a bit more even, for sure. Game 3, things really started to fall off, obviously.
For the Flames.
Yeah. And it didn't look, it got a little bit better, but still didn't improve a whole lot, I feel like, for Game 4. Defensive play on the Flames' end was brutal, and the Oilers made them pay for it. Right? Like, go back to the watch along from Tuesday night, and like, why is Zach Hyman allowed to just literally sit on the post?
Mm-hmm.
Not for like a second or two, solid 5 seconds. He's allowed to just sit there on a power play, no less, for the Oilers.
Yeah, right.
Why? No, you don't do no. His feet are literally in the blue page, just waiting for the puck, and nobody's doing fuck all about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it, but you brought up the shot map after the watch along last night.
The Oilers dominated in quality chances.
There was a lot of good chances and 2 goals from right in basically the crease.
Yeah.
So besides that, it was fairly even in terms of shot attempts from what I remember. But just that concentration right in the crease was what really got you. So
on the last episode, like when we were doing the round 2 previews, right? We broke down these 2 teams because we knew we were going to be covering them a little bit more with the watch alongs.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but and somebody, can fact check me or Carter if he disagrees. We both agree that the Flames' defensive depth was more than the Oilers.
Mm-hmm.
Like going into this, like at least on paper.
Yeah.
It's really not looking like it right now for the Calgary Flames.
No.
It doesn't. It looks brutal, honestly.
Yeah. And I know he I could just tell when he came back last night that he still wasn't at 100%. But but I do think Chris Tanev improved you guys' back end.
Oh
But
yeah, it did.
Chris Tanev at say, I don't know, 70% at best is just kind of, it feels like average for the way your
Yeah.
other defensemen have been playing. Like that's just how they are.
Yeah, and it sounds like he was wanting to come back sooner, and he was told to hold off. So
Yeah.
that's yikes. But yeah, I mean, this team could really use a healthy Chris Tanev right now to help defensively.
Mhm.
I don't put a whole lot of blame on Jacob Markstrom, to be honest with you, but yeah, there's definitely one or two that it'd be nice if he had stopped, especially for game 4 there.
Yeah.
And I think without even looking at what the comment is, I think I saw it. Do you want to bring up the start comment right now?
Yeah, sure. Ali asks, do you see the comeback for the Flames happening tomorrow?
I can sum it up in 4 words. Fuck, I hope so.
I thought it was gonna be no fucking way, but then I was like, oh, that's only 3.
That's only 3. Yeah, I hope so, but I'm also, again, I'm a realist, and I'm just kind of preparing myself at this point to be disappointed. So
Yeah. I mean,
which is a horrible way to live, but I've followed this team for God as long as I can remember, and it's been disappointment, unfortunately. So
yeah. I mean, I as an Oilers fan, the thought of Calgary just rolling over for game 5 in their own barn in a Battle of Alberta, like I literally can't even picture that. So like
no.
it's if they do lose game 5, the Flames, that is, it's not going to be for lack of trying. It's going to be like Markstrom. I fully believe he's going to have a solid game. The top line, I mean, it's really only up for them. Like they, in my opinion,
In the
my
last couple
biased
of games,
opinion,
they just haven't been able to get it as much done. Honestly, they felt like they were actually doing more against Dallas.
yeah,
The
yeah,
scoring wasn't
absolutely.
there because Jake Ottinger decided to come out of nowhere and torment everybody. That Flames fans had to literally curse Jake Ottinger. If you saw any of that on Reddit, but they felt a little bit more noticeable, like in that series as a whole,
Yeah,
compared to the rest of this series starting in game 2. So.
yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if Calgary won game 5, just because I feel like they.
St. Louis just scored in overtime. We're headed to game 6.
Oh shit, son. Damn. Okay.
Hopefully
Wild.
next week when we do an episode, I didn't speak too soon. Oh.
Yeah, like I think that the Flames are, I don't want to say embarrassed because that doesn't feel like the right word, but I feel like they
Should be.
They've got like a, okay, sure, you said it. Not me. they definitely have a chip on their shoulder. Like they know that they have more to give, and this, oh god,
Then give it.
I can't believe I'm saying this as an Oilers fan, but like the Flames are a better team than what they've done in the last 3 games.
Yeah.
And on the brink of elimination, just for the sake of an entertaining series, I want them to put their best foot forward, even if it means the Oilers losing. Like, I just want to see a good, solid battle. I don't care who wins game 5 because I have full belief that Edmonton will win one of these 3 games. Ideally, game 6.
Yeah, really, it's a lot easier
right?
it's a lot easier for Edmonton at this point than it is for Calgary. So
yeah, exactly. Like, I'm gonna be upset if Calgary wins game 5 because that's just the way it is. But
and we'll get it on camera, and it'll live for it'll live for infinity.
Yeah,
or until the internet gets shut down, YouTube
Yeah.
servers go down.
Yeah, but I have full faith in Edmonton in game 6 at home to be able to do their thing again. So
I'm cautiously optimistic about game 5. I'm not so sure anymore about the rest of the series, which sucks because this was such a fun season as a Flames fan for once.
Yeah.
So
either way though, I know that in the next 5 years, this isn't going to be the last Battle of Alberta that we see. At least
God,
I hope not. Like,
I hope not.
yeah. I do want to just throw it back to Game 3, though, and bring up a clip here. First of all, this is from Zach Lang on Twitter here. And
oh, yeah. Okay. I was like, what are we bringing up here? Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you do. And I just thought this was hilarious. So this is, for those just listening, this is the clip of Mike Smith returning after concussion protocol.
For like a minute and a half.
Yeah. And someone overlaid the some wrestling soundbite over top of it.
Oh yeah! It's Austin! Stone Cold! Stone Cold! For God's sakes! Stone Cold is back! He's gonna be in jail! The bell is rung! I don't think Austin even knows it! This is not a wrestling match! This is a fight! The bell has rung! And Austin is kicking Helmsley's ass tonight!
I just thought that was like, when I saw that, I don't know much about wrestling, but my immediate thought was like, somebody needs to put like some Stone Cold sound bites over top of this, and then somebody fucking did.
So we did it.
Like, so but yeah, that shot of him like leaving the game and then, like you said, for like a minute and a half and then coming back, that
which also I gotta recognize the NHL for a moment here. Minute and a half on concussion protocol. Potential guy with a concussion, give him a solid minute and a half. Yeah, get back in there. Good job, NHL. Fucking useless piece of shit.
But him coming back after that and going back into the net is very worthy of this week. A big energy move.
It's a what now?
A big energy move.
And Carter, what was Mike Smith letting in a goal from 132 feet away this week? Oh, come on.
I'm conflicted. It feels not wrong. It feels wrong to not play this for a third time, but
okay, how about this? A goal from 132 feet away, and then looking at first like he's blaming somebody else for it. What kind of move is that?
I'm still not doing it.
Do it. Just do it.
A big energy move.
Thank you. And I was saying on the watch along, I'm like, I can't wait to the press conference after. No, he didn't blame anybody for it. It was purely just that, he said he just lost the puck in general. And he was just happy he could laugh about it.
Yeah.
But I guess you literally know Oilers fans, assholes, clenched when that happened.
Oh, absolutely.
Because all the momentum went over to Calgary, and then a unfortunate incidental double minor for high sticking, which I'm not arguing whatsoever. Don't take it that way. I'm not arguing whatsoever. Completely shifts it back to Edmonton's way. So
yeah, I just wanted to bring that up for Game 3 there. But yeah, I mean, either way, and maybe this is just because my team's up 3-1, but this has been an exciting series so far.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's been wildly unpredictable, which is like ironically kind of what a lot of people predicted, like for this series. But like it was like nobody knew how it was going to go. It's like Calgary has this, but Edmonton has this. It's like this could be a factor, this could be a factor, and like literally all of it has happened. Like we've got 9-6, we've gotten 5-3, we've gotten literally everything in this series.
I just want to pull up this comment here quick from Allie. Nate, you're just confirming Carter's reasoning for not giving you the keyboard sound file. See, the joke on this part is that I have access to this, and you know what that is?
A big energy move.
Oh man. But yeah, so Game 5 will be Thursday night for the Battle of Alberta. If you want to hear Carter and I just yelling at our TV screens, basically over whatever the hell our team is doing in this game, hopefully a win in Calgary's case, but who knows? You might see me completely just break down mentally at the end of that game. If you want the possibility of seeing that, you can watch the watch along on the THPN YouTube channel, the Hockey Podcast Network. That game is at 7:30 Mountain, I believe, so 6:30 Pacific.
Yeah.
I'm just double checking on the time though. But yeah, come hang out with us. The comment section's been awesome for these games so far.
It's been hard to keep up with it.
Yeah, if you've been part of that, thank you very much, and thank you for keeping it civil as well, because I've seen a lot of bad stuff from both sides, Calgary and Edmonton fans, on other social media platforms and whatnot. So it's nice that the comment section has actually been really civil with each other. And that sort of thing. And we're getting a lot of people as well that they don't necessarily have a stake in this. They just want to watch the game and hang out with us. So shout out to you guys as well. So you could be doing literally anything else with your time, and you're choosing to, watch two teams that you don't care about and hang out with two guys that's, probably at least on the last episode, might have made your ears bleed. So
yeah. Yeah, no, it's been good. And I mean, tuning into these games, you get to see lots of Mick Magic as well. Dude's been on a tear lately.
So yes, the Battle of Alberta tomorrow night, Thursday night, is at 6:30 Pacific, 7:30 Mountain.
Cool. Yeah, it's a fun time. I love this series, man. It's been so good. Someone asked the question. I don't remember who it was, but someone asked, what's your favorite playoff series of all time? And I said, this is probably going to go down as one of them.
Could become
yeah, so it's 3-1 Edmonton, but the series is still far from over.
Yeah,
in my opinion. Like we've seen with Colorado, St. Louis, even just tonight, Colorado was up 3-1, looked like they were going to win. They were literally a minute away from winning it, and now they're going to game 6.
Yeah.
So
just ridiculousness.
Yeah. Okay.
The playoffs, anything can happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the Stanley Cup playoffs so far. And I guess probably by the next time we do an episode, the series will probably be over.
Yeah, they will be. So yeah, next Wednesday. Because we did, I guess we're figuring this out live right now. We did decide for round 2 we were starting on the once a week. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
So yeah, next Wednesday, these series will all be done. We'll be, I believe, maybe even that night starting the third round. So the conference finals. So.
Depending on when these ones are actually done, we could very well be starting or have already started round 3, the conference finals. Yeah. So very exciting stuff. We're in the back, almost in the back half of the Stanley Cup finals now with season 2, round 2 coming to an end. It's been a lot of talking doing these watch alongs.
It has been. My voice was rough this morning.
Yeah. It's starting
to probably be rough
just
tomorrow morning after this too. So
yeah. Okay.
We do it for you, the people.
Yeah. And for our own enjoyment, but
yeah.
Let's get into some what's quacking here. You got a couple things. So
yeah. All right, Carter, I'll let you dictate which path we go down first. Do we want to keep it hockey for the last little bit here, or
let's keep it hockey? Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So this was it looks like a Facebook post that was on a page, Northside Hub in Edmonton. Hey everyone, I'm trying to help a good friend out. He paid $1,800 for 2 tickets in the lower bowl for Game 4 of the Oilers versus Flames at Rogers Place. That's a lot of money, but man, those would be good seats.
Oh, absolutely.
It turns out that the game happened to end up scheduled on the same day as his wedding. That's brutal. So he's looking for someone to take his place. It's at St. Anthony's Church in St. Albert at 5 p.m. on Tuesday. Her name is Ashley. She's about 5'6", 130. She likes to dance and is a fabulous cook. She'll be the one in the white dress.
I 100% knew that's where that was going. I was like, this has to be looking for a replacement for the groom, not for the tickets.
Yeah, I sent this to my girlfriend saying you'd kill me, and she just said divorce. Oh, but I get a good chuckle out of that one. So there's some. I mean, obviously at least I would hope that's a joke, but at the same time, That's why I refuse if when I get married in the future, hopefully, that I will not be having it during hockey season if I can help it, or like
Yeah.
very early on in the season. So, and I will have somebody keeping me updated and everything like that. I apologize in advance.
Yeah. No, you know what? There is tons of opportunity to have nice weddings from mid-July to like end of September, middle of October, depending on when they
Yeah.
decide to start it. There's tons of nice days
Yeah.
during that time. Like,
Exactly.
why do you have to have a wedding in May or June during the NHL playoffs? Like,
You know, it's playoff time.
yeah, exactly. So like, just pick a different date. It's not hard.
You got to do like September. It's preseason. The weather's just starting to cool down and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's still nice. You don't have, it's not like the transition to fall just yet. It's perfect time, I think.
Yeah. It's not like a birthday where you can't really help the fact that you were born at a certain time of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's a wedding.
But you can help the
literally get
fact
to
that,
pick.
hey, you know, around the time that playoffs are.
Yeah.
And playoffs matter.
Yeah. The only time that it would have gotten messed up is during the bubble playoffs, but you weren't getting married that time anyways. Like if you
Yeah,
had
exactly.
your wedding planned for August, like it
Wasn't happening.
no, exactly. Like everything else was getting messed
Yeah.
up. So
We got this comment from Ali. Did you see the proposal that happened, that Battle of Alberta, for game 4, actually, last night's game between an Oilers fan and a Flames fan too? Yeah. And we said, yeah, and we'll say it again here. Congratulations to the hopefully happy couple. We'll see what tomorrow night brings, but
Yeah.
they might be sleeping in separate rooms for the next couple of nights. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, the dude must be a pretty good sport about it and not take hockey too seriously if he
Yeah,
proposes to his
exactly.
girlfriend when the Oilers are up 3-0. So
Yeah, I was gonna say the car ride home is her going, yeah, well, guess what? My team won tonight and I got engaged. The fuck did you do?
yeah.
What did you get out of tonight?
Yeah. Like if my girlfriend was a Flames fan, okay,
That
I'm
hurt
going to
you
be
to
stretching
say,
things a little
didn't
bit.
it?
It did a lot.
Even though it's imaginary, that hurt you to say.
Yeah, because first of all, that wouldn't happen anyways. Like that's basically a deal breaker. But if my girlfriend was a Flames fan and we were at a Battle of Alberta playoff game and the Flames were up 3-0 and she decided that was a time to propose to me, I would have been like, fuck no, sit down. Are you kidding me right now?
Get those cameras off of me. This isn't happening
Yeah.
right now.
I'd be like, absolutely. Did you see the scoreboard? Like, no. McDavid just got tripped and no penalty on the play, and you're asking me to marry you?
I am not in the mood right now. You can see the makeup running down my face.
Yeah.
I've been
I
crying
just
since the
threw my
third
beer
goal of the
and
third-
chipped my
third minute.
fingernail.
Oh man. Oh, all right.
But yes, it was a magical moment.
Yes,
for
it was
sure.
a very
So-
magical moment. And again, congratulations to the happy couple.
Yeah. Okay, what else you
Cool.
got for us here on What's Quacking?
All right, so we'll loop it around again one more time. Back to some Kenobi talk here. I came across this. So just to remind everybody of the original clip from the original Star Wars movie, then later renamed A New Hope. Just and watch Disney plug or like pull this episode because of like 7 seconds. Watch it. But we all know this classic line that when I kind of thought about it, this one line is never brought up again for the rest of the original trilogy, but it spawned 3 other movies and 2 TV series.
Mhm.
Here you go.
You fought in the Clone Wars?
Yes. I was once a Jedi Knight, the same as your father.
Now, what Obi-Wan actually is thinking inside when he's asked the question, you fought in the Clone Wars, is, Luke, I didn't just fight in the Clone Wars. I fucking started the Clone Wars. Your mom was nearly murdered by worms, so I went up the chain of command until I was captured by Christopher Lee and these bugs making clicking sounds. Your parents came to rescue me, but fucked that up too. Then a bunch of dudes identical to a man that was just beheaded showed up. Shit was wild, kid. I even got to lay pipe with Mandalorians, try out bounty hunting, and have sexually tense encounters with a bald lady every other week. all because of your mom.
Oh man, that's really taking one line and stretching it, but like you're not wrong.
No, not wrong whatsoever. The Clone Wars were started essentially because of that. And
Yeah.
he's not wrong, especially especially the thing of have sexually tense encounters with a bald lady every other week. Carter, how much of the Clone Wars TV series have you watched?
I've seen probably like the first 3, maybe 4 seasons, but that was when it was like came out on TV. So that was
Yeah.
a long ass time ago.
Okay, do you remember at least the dark side user who was that bald girl like with the 2 red lightsabers? Do you remember her at all?
Maybe if I saw a picture, but honestly,
Okay,
I'm picturing the alien from Lilo and Stitch right now, just with the lightsabers. The I forget her name, but the one that sends the I want to say Jabba. Is his name Jabba in Lilo and Stitch?
No.
No, it's not.
I don't remember. That's a movie I haven't seen in
Yeah.
years, and now I want to
Pleakley.
watch
Thank you, Ali. Pleakley.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm pulling up. So the character that I was referring to is Asajj Ventress. Yeah, here. Where's share screen? The Chrome tab. Where'd it go? There it is. This lady here.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen her.
You recognize
before,
her a
but-
little bit? Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, very similar to that lady from Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, a little bit. But when you finally go to watch that series, which I do highly recommend, honestly, yeah, when you go and watch that, there's definitely like some weird sexually intense encounters for whatever reason. It definitely feels that way. So
Yeah.
it's like they're fighting each other and they're flirting at the same time. It's really it's odd, but it's funny at the same time. So
Sorry, we gotta address this Lilo and Stitch thing because Ali set on it.
okay.
She says, "No, wait, Pleakley is the one that comes to Lilo's house and is green." Yeah, the Squidward looking one that like loves mosquitoes until they eat him alive. But Lilo and Stitch characters
Or are you talking like the head of whatever?
of whatever alien organization.
Yeah.
What's her
what's
name?
her? Lilo and Stitch characters. Yeah, we're deep
Yeah.
diving into this. We've done Scooby Doo and now we're doing Lilo and Stitch. Just Grand Councilwoman.
That's just her name?
That's her name.
That's lame.
Grand Councilwoman. Yep.
Okay. The other guy I was thinking of that I thought was Jabba. What's his name? The one that goes with Pleakley.
Jumba.
Jumba. Okay. So I was close.
Yeah.
Jabba.
Jumba Jukuba.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even remember why I brought that up, but I was
I don't remember either.
Oh yeah, because we were talking about that lady from
Oh yeah.
from Star Wars, and I was like, when you said bald lady, I thought of the Grand Councilwoman from Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
So
that's fair. So yeah, the Grand Councilwoman is the leader of the United Galactic Federation in Lilo and Stitch. As the most powerful figure in the galaxy, others occasionally refer to her as Your Majesty and Your Highness. On the whole, she is both reasonable and well-intentioned, but has little patience for criminals. Nice. Yeah, I gotta go back and watch that movie. That's a classic.
it's a good one. Yeah. It's my go-to sick movie. Whenever I'm sick, I just put that on.
You're sick all the time, dude. Are you just constantly watching that movie?
Always.
Oh man.
All right. Well, I think that's a good pretty good episode there. Good
Yeah.
back to work after like a week and a half there. So
There you go. And and we'll be back next week. We are going to once a week now for at least the remainder of the playoffs and a little bit after that.
Mhm.
But catch us every Wednesday right here.
yeah, and we've got
Same
watch
bad
alongs.
show, same bad channel.
Yeah.
I think that's what it said on the NMS series.
We are doing watch-alongs for the rest of the Battle of Alberta. So Game 5 for sure, which is Thursday, 7:30 Mountain, 6:30 Pacific. And then if needed, Game 6 will be on Saturday, time to be determined for that. And then Game 7 will be on Monday, if needed as well. So stay tuned to that on the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel and at HockeyPodNet. You can follow myself at Carter_Potts, POTTS_97. And Nate, where can they follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Tatenamas, TATENHOMAS.
Perfect. And at Quack Report Pod is our show, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and the Quack Report on YouTube there. And yeah, that is it. Thank you guys for tuning in to this live stream or the replay on Thursday, and we'll see you next week.